Good afternoon, everybody. Going to get started with the before market close video. It is Tuesday, November 15th. Hope everybody's doing well today. Back at it this week. I was getting over a sickness yesterday. Still a little under the weather today, but I got over the most of it, I think. And had a great time in Vancouver, so excited to be back in the swing of things. We had some pretty big developments in the crypto space. The broader market's been holding relatively well, and at the moment, crypto is giving us a little bit of a clue that we could expect more downside in the broader market, in my opinion. As we know, crypto and tech have been leading the rally ever since March 2020 lows, and this could be something of concern, obviously, with the FTX implosion, them filing for bankruptcy. There was some new developments today surrounding that, saying that there's over 1 million creditors, and more than likely a lot of shady activity going on behind the scenes, ties to government and donations to the government, and that could create a lot of shakeup in Congress. We could see a lot of repercussions of, from a congressional standpoint. We might see some investigations into that, and that could obviously create even more headwinds. And we're starting to see BlockFi now, and even more potential. There's some FUD going around Solana potentially failing, and at this point anything's possible. So we just have to be aware that there's still a lot of market headwinds at the moment, and we could potentially see a bottom, in my opinion, over the next few weeks. But into the end of the year, I still think that we could see a massive end-of-year rally. We did see the DXY, the dollar index, start to consolidate on the monthly time frame, which I said was more than likely going to happen into the end of the year, and that'll bode well for crypto and the broader market. So we're just searching a bottom here at the moment, but no signs of it yet. But I will go over the technical patterns and charts and what I'm seeing in just a moment. But in terms of the 15-minute time frame on Bitcoin, we are consolidating here, looking for a 15-minute high or low. So we could potentially change the 15-minute trend here, and pretty much everything else just following suit. BTC.D, so the dominance chart on Bitcoin, also very important in terms of the monthly time frame. Again, we've been watching this for a while now. We're watching for the monthly bear flag to confirm, and this descending triangle to see further downside continuation. So in order to confirm the monthly bear flag, we need to lose 38.84% dominance. So that is the key level, support level on Bitcoin dominance. If we lose that, we confirm the monthly bear flag, and we'll be targeting about 34% as the measured move. And then that would give us further continuation in the monthly descending triangle, which is ultimately targeting about 30%, which should pave the way for an amazing alt season here into the end of the year or over the next few months. And something that could be a major catalyst. We have Flare networks launching. We have potential stablecoin regulation. We have potential regulation coming forth with with the implosion of FTX. So all those things could bode well for the crypto space. And then also the SEC potentially settling with Ripple, or Ripple with an outright win, would be good for the whole MJ space, the crypto space. So as of right now, everything's kind of bleak at the moment. So FTX, we had Voyager, we had Three Arrows, we had all these BlockFi, all these different companies and exchanges potentially going insolvent and bankrupt, and more to follow suit. This could be the implosion of crypto, and what we could potentially see is Ripple come out as the savior, because if Ripple actually beats the SEC and we get a settlement, that is going to set precedent for the whole industry, right? So everybody should be rooting for Ripple right now, especially with all of these massive uncertainties and just implosions in the market, right? So this could be something that could stop the bleeding, and in my opinion could catapult the alt season that we've been looking for. And obviously we know that XRP hasn't hit its all-time high, and we're just due for a massive breakout, in my opinion. And at the moment, XRP is potentially changing the monthly trend. So we have the low, high, higher low. We're looking for a higher low compared to 28.7 cents. If we hold that low and then break resistance here at 55.9 cents, that's going to confirm a monthly uptrend. We already had the monthly EMA 12 and 26 bear cross out of the way as well, and we now have that occur on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's already seen its monthly EMA 12 and 26 bear cross. We don't have any monthly support until 9,800 on Bitcoin. But it is nice to see that we did get this out of the way, this bearish indicator, which is the EMAs crossing bearish with the shorter term over the longer term, in this case the 12 and the 26 EMA. And then we're still nowhere near monthly oversold, but we are the lowest we've ever been in terms of the monthly RSI on Bitcoin. So we can't rule out another leg down, in my opinion, and I did draw a monthly head and shoulders, and the target on that was 13,225, and that also lined up with the 0.618 extension. So we came fairly close to that. I said that if we lost 17,500, that we would likely see 15,000 in a hurry. Sure enough, we lost 17,500, and in a hurry, we saw 15,000, the low at 15,500. And now the next level that I'm targeting is that 13,000 area. So it's all about 15,500. If we lose that support from here, we're likely targeting that monthly head and shoulders target of 13,000, which also lines up with the 0.618 fib level. So again, not ruling one more leg down as a possibility, but have to start to look at the other way, in my opinion, because of how bearish everybody is. You want to be greedy when other people are fearful, and fearful when others are greedy. And right now, pretty much everybody and their dog is fearful. And like I said, monthly RSI is in the floor. We've never been this monthly oversold on Bitcoin. We could still see another drop to 13,000, but it's all about that 15,000 price level from here. So again, not a bad idea to start scaling into those positions. Personally, I still don't own any Bitcoin. I still don't own any Ethereum. I just feel like the risk is to the downside with those, and that there's a lot more opportunity in the altcoin sector. So specifically XRP, XLM, my biggest holdings at the moment, XRP, XLM, Litecoin, HBAR. What else? We've got Filecoin, Algo, QNT is another one that was a great buy. So I said to hold off on that one. And we went all the way from $228 last month to a low of $94 this month. So from the high to the low, it's about a 60% correction here in just a couple of weeks. In terms of the bull and bear list, we've got HNT, HP, and NDA leading the decline. On the bullish day, we have SGB, ETH, and QNT. So again, looking for a bottom to be set over the next couple of weeks, but not ruling out one more potential leg down. But like Kevin O'Leary said, right, he even told us that he more than likely would expect one more major insolvency or bankruptcy in the space before we see a bottom. And then sure enough, FTX comes out with a major Ponzi scheme and fraudulent exchange, and they just didn't have the backings, right? And they went on a big buying spree, right? Didn't have the money. Even Elon Musk called BS on his BS meter with Sam Bankman-Fried, the CEO of FTX, right? So these are all things that we need to be cognizant of, and this is why we preach, self-custody, having a Ledger Nano S or X, or getting a Ledger, getting a Trezor, whatever you need to do, but self-custody those and get your crypto off the exchanges, at least the majority. I've got probably 80 to 90% of my crypto on a Ledger Nano S, and the rest is on exchanges, right? So it's looking like I said, the bottom could be getting close, but not ruling out that one more potential leg down. In terms of the S&P 500 today, so we do have daily consolidation underway. We broke to a daily higher high today, and I did post in the chat room earlier. I'll just bring it up here. Also just checking in on the news. Nothing major, but I did post here. So just moved the rest of my aggressive mutual funds into a money market fund. I'm about 98% of my capital in my retirement account now in fixed income. And Sam had a question here. What do you mean by fixed income? So fixed income is an investment approach focused on preservation of capital. So if we know that the market is near a top, and that we could potentially be entering a new bear market on the S&P 500 and potentially a Great Depression, I think that we could see maybe one of the worst sell-offs in stock market history over the next 1 to 2 years. Then you want to be preserving capital, right? So I'm just in super protective of my capital mode, and I'm looking to not hit home runs. I'm just looking to preserve that capital. So I'm not looking to make 10 to 20% on my retirement account, because the S&P 500 just went up 125% in 2 years. The average annual return on the S&P is about 12%. So we got 10 years worth of gains condensed into 2 years. So why am I going to be all aggressive when we've seen astronomical gains that were unheard of and that we're more than likely not going to see again? And as we know, the bigger the move to the upside with no support, the bigger the move to the downside, right? So it's just the way that the markets work. So it typically includes investments like government and corporate bonds, CDs, and money market funds. So I'm in a money market fund. It's essentially a little bit better than holding cash. And Sam was asking what's the typical return. It's usually around 2 to 3%, maybe as high as 5%. But the whole idea is that with money market is less risk equals less reward, right? So you're not going to get as much reward because the risk is way lower, right? So it's essentially like holding cash, but a little bit better than that. But the great thing about it is you're only going to make 2-3% on average, annually on that money. But the great thing about it is if the markets go in turmoil and we see a major downfall, you're probably not going to see your account drop more than a few percent, right? So that's the idea, is preserving that capital. So that's why I'm just being very cautious at the moment. I did switch those over, pretty much 98%. I do have a small amount left in those aggressive funds and a balanced portfolio. The reason why I left that in there is because you need a certain amount of money in the funds in order for it to remain active. And I think it's around $1,000 or between $500 and $1,000. So that's why I've got about 2% left in those aggressive funds, but essentially pretty much all out of those. But we did start daily consolidation on the S&P 500, having lost yesterday's low at 394.83. We hit a low of 394.49. We did break to a higher high today, but then went right back the other way and broke yesterday's low. So we don't have any daily support until 373.61. We also have strong support there around 390, which was also previous resistance, then became support, then it became resistance again. So I do think that 390 could be due in the short term here. We could potentially see 390 in the near term as a potential daily consolidation zone. Also, if we do pull back to that level, that would basically mean that we were a daily bull flag. So we'll just extend this here to the high of the bounce. So realistically, we could pull back to around 390, 391 and still be a potential daily bull flag, and we'd be targeting about 417. So I think that 390 is a very likely level to pull back to over the next couple of days, form a daily higher low. If we do form that higher low around 390, 391 and hold it, then we have the potential of a daily bull flag. And then from there, let's say tomorrow, if we pull back to around 391 and then we hold that level, and then the next day we break resistance here at 402.31, that's going to confirm the daily bull flag, and we'll be targeting about 417 on the S&P 500. But we are in a daily uptrend with the low, high, higher low, and higher high. So anything above 373.61 here is just a daily higher low. So as long as 373.61 holds, we're still in a daily uptrend. We're in a weekly uptrend as well with the low, high, higher low, and higher high. Very, very bullish chart. And if we take a look at the weekly time frame, we had extremely bullish close last week as well, with the close over the 10-week moving average, and the MACD and the stochastic very bullish as well. Even QQQ had a very strong weekly close, bull cross of the stochastic and the MACD, and a close over that 10-week moving average. So bull crosses and a close over the 10-week looking really, really good. And like I said, weekly uptrend confirmed as well with a lot of follow through. Could still see an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross as well, leading to more upside. And we have no resistance until 410.05 at the moment. And then after 410.05, we're looking at the high of the previous bounce, which was 429.96. And again, I've been saying for a while now, and taking a look at the .com fractal, that we could potentially be setting a bottom right around a couple weeks before the midterm elections. And that's pretty much what happened at this point. And now we're bouncing and we're following this fractal again pretty much to a T. And now it's saying that we could potentially top out between now and the end of November, and then come down into March and April, between March and May, and then potentially form a new low, and then another lower high, and then even another lower low from there. So the end of 2023 could be very, very interesting, could be very, very damaging to a lot of portfolios if not prepared. So this is why I've been preaching having a ton of cash on the side. I've still got a 6-figure cash position, and I'm also just diversifying. I'm also hedging with an S&P 500 short. I added SPXS at 380. I added it again at 390. Added it again at 400, and I'll add it again if we get to 410. Just slowly starting to scale into that SPXS position to hedge against long positions, which pretty much the only long positions I have at the moment are altcoins, utility coins specifically, MJ stocks, and Edmonton real estate investments in the condo market, right? So that's pretty much the only thing I feel comfortable going long at the moment. But with that being said, I do think that because of the monthly consolidation on the DXY, look at this starting to head to weekly oversold. That's how quickly things can change. Weekly overbought. We had bearish RSI divergence, hidden bearish RSI divergence with lower highs and lower lows on the RSI, and then higher lows and higher highs on the price action. Like I said, the monthly RSI was over 80, so heavily overbought, and we knew to be expecting a pullback at some point soon. And I said, don't be surprised if we pull back to around the 100 to 105 level, and we hit 105.34. And we still haven't even back tested EMA 12 there on the monthly time frame either. So I said the key level to be watching was 109.53 at the beginning of this monthly candle. I said if we lose 109.53, then we start monthly consolidation the first time really in about 11 months, almost a full year. And from that low, we actually dropped almost 4%. So again, this is why technical analysis can really help your portfolio, really can help your strategy, and just help you hedge, right? Even if you just started to flip a little bit bullish in the broader market, or if you start to potentially look for other opportunities, right? So it's just about following the charts and what the charts are saying, not necessarily what the narrative and the mainstream media is saying and what the overall retail investor sentiment is saying. Because as we know, generally retail investors get it wrong. So again, the fact that we're starting monthly consolidation is a very bullish sign for crypto and stocks into the end of the year, but not ruling out one more potential leg down. And we did pull back more than the 0.32 fib, so it's no longer a monthly bull flag. I wouldn't have said that the monthly bull flag was the most likely scenario on the DXY based on how extended we were and no support. So as we know, the more extended we get to the upside with no support, the more extended we will probably get to the downside, right? It's usually a stair step up or a slow grind up and then an elevator move down. So I do think that somewhere around this 100 level to 102 level is likely going to give us a nice intersection here on the DXY. And then it could potentially form a lower high and then a lower low. And then we see into the end of the year, maybe, December, we see stocks go ballistic. But again, I do think that 2023 could be a very, very interesting year. And we could even potentially enter a type of Great Depressionary style market in the S&P 500 because, like I said, 125% gains, almost 130% gains in a couple of years when we're accustomed to only about 12% a year, right? So 10 years worth of gains condensed into 2 years. We need to expect a lot more downside. And we could be heading to monthly oversold somewhere around October into late 2023, in my opinion. All right, moving on. So Tesla continues to be weak. On the monthly time frame, we still haven't even seen the monthly EMA 12 and 26 bear cross as well. So just like Bitcoin just saw, it saw its monthly EMA 12 and 26 bulk bear cross and then saw more downside, a new monthly lower low. If Tesla sees something similar, we could see another monthly lower low from here. And we have key support there at 179.83. We hit 177.12, so we did pierce that, but could be a nice bottom fishing opportunity with a stop below 177. I was in a trade on Tesla. I had a stop below 198, and I did get stopped out of that one for a small loss. It was only, I think, 4 or 5% loss. So not concerned about that one. And we could be heading to monthly oversold on Tesla as well. But after 177, we have nothing now until $23 on the monthly time frame. So Tesla could easily be a massive short opportunity here. But again, probably closer, not a great idea to do that at the moment, closer to support. So maybe wait for another potential monthly lower high. But we are in a monthly downtrend with lower highs and lower lows, lower highs and lower lows. So clear monthly downtrend pattern here on Tesla. In terms of the individual names on the day today, movers obviously affected CGC and created more downside in the intraday activity here that we've seen. And if we take a look at CGC on the daily time frame, same thing. Broke to a daily higher high and then broke yesterday's low. So pretty much just exact mirror of what the S&P 500 is doing at the moment. And again, it doesn't follow the broader market down to the week, the day, the second, the minute. But overall, we get those headwinds and tailwinds, right? Not all the time we're correlated, but they come and go, these correlations. And this is just something that we need to look at. But with that being said, I am extremely bullish on MJ into the end of the year. If we take a look at CGC on the weekly time frame as well, we're extremely bullish. 10-week close over the 10-week moving average, same thing as SPY. And we're extremely bullish on the stochastic and the MACD, same thing as SPY. So it's looking really good in terms of the weekly moving averages. We are testing potentially the 50 weekly there at 527. If we can close a weekly candle over that, we have nothing nearby until 1438. And then in terms of the monthly time frame, we have no monthly resistance on CGC until up here at 1596. And then the 200 weekly moving average there at 2028. In terms of the daily time frame, we do have the 200-day moving average there at 464. And like I said, we hit a high of 456. So we came dangerously close to that 200-day moving average, and we have no daily support really until 298. So don't be surprised if we do reject from the 200-day moving average here in the near term, come down, potentially backtest this 350, 330s area for a daily high or low. And we could even see a golden cross with the 50 below the 200-day moving average. When the 50 is below the longer term and it crosses above through the 200, that's called a golden cross. And that'd be the first time in multiple years. Also the first time in multiple years that we confirmed a monthly uptrend. And no one right now is expecting, or was expecting, or probably not even aware that we're in a monthly uptrend, right? Most people don't even know how to identify that, but pretty much no one would have been expecting this. So we have the low, high, higher, low, and higher high, which means that we're in a monthly uptrend the first time in 2 years. The last monthly uptrend was back here in November of 2020. Right? So 2 years since we've done that. Last time we confirmed a monthly uptrend from the low to the high, we went about 500%, so 5x. So if we did the same thing from this current low, that would take us to around $11, $12 on CGC. And also the last monthly uptrend in bull market didn't last very long. We only went from March 2020 to the high of February 2021. So it was only about 11 months. So again, not a very long bull market. And look what happened the last time. So we had from the low here to the absolute high in price discovery, it was about 38 months. So 1,155 days. So if we're going into a similar, type of environment and bull market like this one, well, if the last one, and that was just on Canada legalizing, if the US and Germany and New York coming online as well this year, this upcoming year, and then if we get potential safe banking, potential uplisting to the NYSE and the NASDAQ, we get potential rescheduling or even descheduling, full-blown legalization, this bull market will look nothing like the next one in my opinion. But again, if that bull market just on Canada legalization lasted at about 38 months, what could we potentially expect this time? If we went 38 months, that would take us into right around September of 2025. So potential multi-year bull market starting. And if we take a look at the fib tools, I went from high to the low and we hit our fib extension. Fib extensions are just areas of interest to be targeting based on mathematical principles, but also just based on, these bull markets and bear markets. So we go from the high to the low of the bull market. The fib extension in the next bull run was targeting about $13 and we hit $14. So it came very, very close. And then in this bear market, we go from high to low and we confirm the monthly downtrend with a monthly lower high and lower low. We go from the high to the low. The next bull market was targeting about $50 to $47 and we hit $56, $59 actually. So again, extended and went past that 4.618 target. Now, if we go from the all-time high to the low here, assuming this is our low, it says that we could potentially in the next bull market hit over $250. So it's saying 265 for the 4.618. I doubt we're going to hit the 4.618 because of how low we are here. And generally we get this law of diminishing returns, right? So even if we hit the 1.618 fib tool, that's about $94. If we hit the 2.618, that's a $150 price tag. If we hit the 3.618, that's a $200 price tag on CGC. And if we just take a look from the percentage moves, even if we get to the 1.618, that's about a 40x from here. If we get to the 2.618, that's about a 70x from here. And a 3.618 is about a 100x from here. So that's a $1,000 investment into potential $100,000 on CGC. And the fact that we're confirming a monthly uptrend adds more confluence to the fact that we could see the whole sector start to bottom out. And I'm not sure what's going on here if the live stream just cut out, but it says I'm only been recording for about 5 minutes, so I'm not sure. Should be longer than that. If everybody can hear me okay, maybe just drop a comment in the comments. I would appreciate it. And if anybody does have any ticker requests, just let me know. So we'll be getting into those in a moment. But let me know if you can hear me fine, if everything's coming through okay. I did see a little bit of a glitch on my streaming software, so I didn't think too much of it, but that must have restarted the recording or something like that. So very odd, but moving on. In terms of the movers and shakers today in Canadian MJ, we have PWR, DB, and High Tide. High Tide's another name that's starting to show some signs of life, starting the monthly bounce. And we have no resistance on the monthly all the way up till 589. So this is an extremely bullish play in my opinion, and long-term hold in my opinion. Very bullish on that one. Love losing 10 cents today, but Labs, Love, PCLO leading the decline. Hexo had some news today with regards to a partnership with Entourage, and could be a very popular trend going forward, right? We start to see the leaders in cultivation, the leaders in distribution, the leaders in innovation start to sign supply agreements with other low-cap names to prevent insolvency. We know that a lot of our low-cap names are probably going to go, bankrupt or belly up. And we're going to start to see the mega caps really start to swoop in. But I think it's a good move overall because it's good for Hexo in the fact that, we'll have supply agreements and they're utilizing their cultivation standards and innovation capabilities. And then these other low cap names like Entourage are going to be able to focus more on, margins and things like that, not having to worry about the high intensive costs, capital expenditures, things like that. It's going to be more of a lightweight operation. And I think just going to be an overall smart business model going forward. And Hexo even said that it's going to be starting white labeling for US MSOs, which also just kind of adds more confidence to the fact that we could see this more of a trend going forward. MSOS is a daily inside bar. So with the broader market, S&P 500 broke to a daily higher high and then a daily low, but MSOS just indecisive at the moment, stuck within yesterday's range. So key support there at 1138 and resistance at 1230. Break 1138, we start daily consolidation the first time really since November 7th. And if we break resistance there at 1230, we continue the daily bounce for the 7th day in a row. Next resistance after that is 1313. But MSOS, just like CGC, it had record monthly volume last month. So same thing with CGC. Volume usually precedes price, and we could see a lot more upside from here, in my opinion. And we could even be seeing a bit of a inverse head and shoulders here on the monthly time frame as well, with the right shoulder, head, left shoulder. And if we do get that confirmed, just take a rough measured move here, that'd be targeting about $20 on MSOS, which also lines up with our moving averages, I believe. MSOS, so we have the 50 weekly there at $15.98, so 16, and then the 100 weekly there at $26. I think it was maybe the daily. Yeah, so we have the 200-day moving average there at $14.45. So you could easily see a move up to about $15 to $20. We also have the EMA 12 there on the monthly time frame at $15.94. So I think $15 to $20 is realistic here into the end of the year, with the potential for safe banking, the potential of uplisting. In terms of movers and shakers today, we have BMMJ, Halo, so Body and Mind, Halo, and Cresco. And on the bull list, we have SHWZ, TrueLeave, and GRWG. All right, going to start wrapping it up. Like I said, hopefully the stream didn't act up. It says that I've only been recording now for about 9 minutes. I think it glitched halfway through, and it may have restarted the live stream, but not sure how that's coming through. But not seeing anybody complaining about the stream or the quality or the audio or any of the video, so I'm assuming everything's good at the moment. But Bitcoin is bouncing on the 15-minute time frame, looking to change that 15-minute trend. So if we can get above resistance there at 16,929, we're back in a 15-minute uptrend. And then at that point, we zoom out to the 4-hour time frame, and we'll look to see if we can break to a 4-hour higher high. We could even still see an EMA 12 and 26 both cross there on the 4-hour time frame, which would mean more upside. It's a 4-hour inside bar at the moment. So it'll be very telling to see which way this breaks. If we confirm that 15-minute uptrend, then we'll more than likely be starting the 4-hour bounce and could see that further upside continuation of the bull cross on the EMAs. So we just closed, the bell just rang, and SPY closed at 398.54. So right in the middle of today's range. So more than likely be a daily inside bar tomorrow. Steve says no issues. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. So yeah, more than likely a daily inside bar tomorrow on the S&P 500, but key support is now at 394.49. If we lose that tomorrow, we start daily consolidation for the second day in a row, and we're more than likely targeting a pullback to around 390. Like I said, 391, which is a potential for a daily bull flag attempt. And if we hold that support, 391, 390, then we break resistance here at the high of the bounce at 402.31. We confirm the daily bull flag, and we're targeting about 417, and we have no daily resistance until 410. Same with the weekly time frame. All right, going to wrap it up. No issues on your end? Okay, perfect. Thanks again. Appreciate it. All right, going to wrap it up. So don't be surprised if we do pull back tomorrow, but we'll be watching this daily inside bar. Like I said, resistance is at 402.31. If we break that, we continue the daily bounce, and we confirm the daily bull flag. And if we lose support at 394.49, watch 390, 391 as a potential bottom, where we could potentially see a bull flag continuation pattern from there as well. Have a great night. We'll see everybody in the chat room in a few minutes. And best of luck out there. Markets are getting very interesting into the end of the year. It's going to be an interesting finish into the end of the year here. I'm short-term bearish, medium-term bullish, long-term bearish. So sticking by that, and I'll keep everybody posted if my thesis changes. But at the moment, I am expecting a massive end-of-year rally in crypto and stocks, and then potentially one of the worst sell-offs in stock market history into 2023. All right, have a great night. We'll see you in the chat room in a bit.